Thanks for joining us on Extra Shot. I am joined by Boyadzhieva, who is Deputy Editor at TelecomTV. Thank you, Yani.
Thank you for having me.
Very nice of you to travel across the room from
It's been a long journey.
From the coffee machines and the pinball machines to come and join us here. And Mark Newman, who's also decided to come back after
Hello again, yes,
yesterday's
I'm a bit close.
session.
I'm in the first table along there, so not too much of a journey.
You haven't had to travel very far. Thank you very much. Mark, who is Chief Analyst at TM Forum. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Now, we've just had a session as part of the Green Network about developing a sustainable and innovative ecosystem. So, Yani, I think that what was key during this session is collaboration. It's vital to make this happen.
Yes, indeed, collaboration across all of the ecosystem partners and players, not just the telcos, but vendors and system integrators. That is vital if the industry and the planet broadly is to succeed and become more green and being able to reduce its impact on the nature. What was interesting to note is that there was a big highlight on Scope 3. These are the supply chain related carbon emissions. These are the biggest ones. Well, they take the biggest part across a telco's carbon emissions. So it is vital to reduce those. And what was interesting to find out was that panelists believe that they are holding each other accountable. So the different ecosystem players are really looking out at the others and checking if they are really committed to the task of reducing their impact on the planet.
Scope 3 emissions, it's tricky, isn't it? Decarbonizing the entire value or supply chain. It's a massive endeavor indeed. Mark, your thoughts after what we've heard?
Yeah, and just picking up on that, so 85 to 90% of all telco emissions are from their supply chain. So if you don't address the supply chain, you don't achieve anything. The other point I think worth making is a point going back to Howard Watson from BT yesterday. BT consumes 0.8% of all the UK's electricity. BT is one of 3 UK telcos, so you can reasonably assume UK telecoms industry consumes probably 1.5–2% of all UK energy. So let's think about the sheer size of the energy consumption of the telecoms industry. We need to do something. And I think in terms of what we do, clearly along the supply chain, people will be doing their bit. But the biggest problem I think telco has is the fact that we're supporting so many duplicated systems. So as we upgrade from DSL, ADSL, XDSL to fibre, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, we're running all of these systems in parallel. And so it becomes a business decision, which is, do you carry on running all these separate networks using so much energy, or do you actually rationalize? So it's probably arguably a bigger business decision, a technology decision that telcos need to make.
And there's a paradox, Yani, at play here, because on the one hand, we know that data is energy hungry, but with that data, we're not going to reach our green targets, are we?
Right. So what we realize is that telcos need data to get more insights, to be able to analyze what's happening with the networks, which bits of the equipment are actually could be turned down to sleep for a little bit when demand is not there for data usage, which parts could be actually completely shut down, such as legacy networks, legacy fixed networks, 3G and so on and so forth. So it is important for telcos to be able to obtain that data and to have the tools to analyze and to have very big decisions on what to do with the network from now on.
And I think to that point, we need to make sure that the processing and the storage of the data takes place closer to where the device triggers the collection of data. So we talk about edge computing a lot, for example. We need to shorten the gap between the point of consumption of telecom services and where it's computed and processes, which today can be hundreds of thousands of miles away. So it's a big jump for telecoms and as you say, the broader supply chain and the cloud industry.
A huge task ahead indeed. Well, thank you very much. Mark and Yani, you're staying with us. We're going to have a very short break.
Yeah.
Please don't run off or run away. 10 minutes, and they will reconvene to talk about the sessions this morning on AI and cloud native.
See you very soon.
Stay tuned. And we're back on Extra Shot. Thank you for joining us again. Still with us, and thank you for that. We've got Boyadzhieva, Deputy Editor at TelecomTV, and Mark Newman, Chief Analyst at TM Forum. So thanks for sticking with us after the break. So this morning we had a couple of sessions around AI and cloud native. Mark, your take on them. What are the key takeaways?
Well, the AI discussion, I should say, was great. It was really, really good, and I think there's kind of two visions, if you like. Maybe vision's not the right word, emerging. I mean, maybe on a broader sense, use cases. So a lot of what's happening today in UI is making the telco a better version of itself. So from an efficiency perspective, making the network run more efficiently, making operations smoother, faster time to market. So the existing telco business. The vision that Neil McRae from Juniper gave us is one of actually thinking of AI as being a tool that the industry can use to take us in a different direction. I think more of the sort of the customer-centric view of AI in terms of new services, new capabilities. And his view is very much we need to sort of think from ground zero, from ground up, and it's quite dangerous to look at AI through an existing legacy telco lens. We need almost to sort of to think, if you were to build a telco from scratch using what AI can do, what would it look like? So that got lots of us thinking. There's lots of conversations, a little bit scary, and I think, as ever with this industry, the question is, do telcos end up running in the same pack and looking to sort of standardize and use AI in the same way, or is it a way for telcos to actually start to differentiate themselves? So it posed lots more questions than answered, but that's kind of inevitable given that we're so early on that AI journey.
And we've talked a lot here about the issue of a lack of certain skills to deliver this vision of cloud and AI native. Mark, what can we do to address this shortage of talent within the industry?
Well, so absolutely the shortage of talent, and our telco is well placed to capture that talent? Probably not. What telcos have not been very good at over the years is actually working with smaller technology companies. And so that they like to work with big technology companies because it's easy to assimilate them into their procurement systems. They give them a degree of security if things go wrong. But if telcos want to innovate with small companies, that's probably going to be more realistic than bringing a huge amount of your own expertise and building your own AI-based capabilities. So that's a challenge from a procurement partnering perspective. How do you work better with those other companies?
Thank you. Now, Yanni, you are here at the DSP Leaders World Forum for the second year. Your impressions of this year in particular?
Yeah, so it's been great. The event this time has been running, and it's still running actually for a bit longer than what we had last year.
One more session to go, okay?
Yes,
One more.
Stay tuned. Of course, so this means that there is a larger platform for participants to engage in very thought-provoking sessions and to be able to network as well, to share experience, share expertise. So I think this is the main benefit and the main difference. Also this year we have been trying to be a bit more playful with our pinball tournament, reporting live, and yeah, it's been great. It's been very exciting to see all of these people, all of these faces. Some people have been coming here from Argentina, from the US, so we have people from across the globe coming in specifically for this event, so it's been great.
Mark, you're a regular here, aren't you?
Yeah, I didn't come last year to be fair, but the point you make is right, and having the right sized event is very important. It needs to be big enough to have a critical mass of people that you want to speak to, but intimate enough to find the right people to have just a 5-minute chat with. And so that's been really good, and actually it's inevitable on sort of the afternoon of day 2, there may be a few less people than the morning of day one, but actually it means you have better access to people. So it's been great for meeting new people, catching up with old friends. So yeah, really, really useful.
And as an analyst, is this forum the right place for you to expand your knowledge as well and to keep up to date with the latest developments in the industry?
So I have a pretty broad remit as an analyst. I cover everything all the way through from technology through to commercial lines of business, financial issues. So for me this is great because it's been pretty broad. And so I can speak to lots of different people from different areas. So I think most people here will find that they're intimately familiar with some of the session, but in other areas they're learning. So if you take the AI session, we're all learning, I think. So yeah, I think it's a good learning experience for everybody. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yanni, excited about next year already?
Definitely. I think it's going to be larger. I think it's going to be even better, which it will be hard to top that actually. But I am very excited. I think we'll have a lot of new suggestions for different topics. Obviously, I think AI will continue being on the top front for us, for the telco industry in general, for the world as well, because it's an ever-evolving. We're at an early stage of developments right now, so we'll be closely following.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks to both of you actually for joining us on Extra Shot. One more session to go. The session is about the next steps that need to be taken to create low power, energy efficient networks. One not to miss. So over to you, Ray.